माय डियर फ्रेंड, तो आज मैं नॉर्थ ईस्ट के और भी एक स्टेट के बारे में पढ़ूंगा। तो ये स्टेट का नाम है त्रिपुरा। ये स्टेट लैंड ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी से कहे जाते हैं। तो इस लैंड ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी के बारे में भी कुछ आप भी जानोगे। तो त्रिपुरा एक बहुत सुंदर से एक स्टेट है, बहुत खूबसूरत से एक स्टेट है। इस खूबसूरत नॉर्थ ईस्ट में इस त्रिपुरा बहुत ही शानदार एक स्टेट है। त्रिपुरा लैंड ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी। The northeast region is known for it is the geographical and the ecological diversity, combined with a rich and the diverse cultural heritage. The state of Tripura is the true representation of this the bewildering diversity. Tripura is the home to the different ethnic groups and faiths who celebrate life through their music, dance, fine arts, folklore, architecture, and the handicraft. The state, located in the extreme southwest corner of the northeast region, share a common boundary with Assam and Mizoram on the northeast and is the bounded by Bangladesh in the northwest and south. The origin of the name Tripura has often been debated by the scholar through the word meaning three cities. In the Sanskrit, some the scholar trace it is the origin to the king Tripur, believed to the powerful ruler of the East region, who is also the mentioned in the Chronicle. Rasmala managed that the etymologically, the word Tripura is the compound of two words used in the local language. Tui means water and para means near. The geography located of the state with the proximity to the best water resources coupled with the generic identity of it is the inhabitant as Tipar, Tipra, or the Tripura could also explain the origin of the state name. Land and people. With a total area of 10,486 square kilometers, the state population is the 36.74 lakh census 2011. Besides it is the indigenous tribal communities, it has the welcome non-tribal communities at a various point of time according to the census 2011. Indigenous tribes consisting of the 19 tribal communities constitute 31.05% of the state population, while the 69.95% are the non-tribal. Among the tribal, the Tripuris of the Devaram communities form were the vast majority, while the non-tribal population comprised largely Bengalis and a small number of Meithis and Vishnupuria Manipuris. Tribal Sus are considered to be the original inhabitant consists largely of the Tripuri Rang, Jamatia, Nuatia, and the Usai, Saimal, Halam, Kuki, Garo, Hmong, and Chakma, who have who have the migrate to the region at different point of time in the ancient past. The Tripura constitute the largest tribal communities in the state. They are follow of the both Shakti and the Vaishnavism. Beside the revering their own the local deities accompanied by the indigenous customs and the ritual. They many speak Kokoborok. Like some of the other tribal groups, they have the follow their own the subsistence patterns and their traditional occupations considered a food gathering the domestications cottage industry. Esther, gradually the food gatherings was supplement of by the Zoom cultivation. The Tiripuri and the Rhianans were the two major tribes that the practices Zoom cultivation. Other tribes Bhil, Munda, Santal, Lepesa, Mithais, and the Khasia consist of the immigrant who come from the Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal, Bhutan, Meghalaya, Sikkim, etc. The Saksmas and the Moks are Arkan tribes who the entrance the Tripura through the Chittagong hills that trace the linguistically the tribes are the divided into Bodo, Tripuri, Rans, Zamatia, Noatia and the Usai. Kuki, Sin, Kuki, Lusai and the Halam are and Arkan, Mok and the Sakmas. Manikya ruled the encouraged the settlement of Bengalis in Tripura. They gradually they assimilated Bengalis language and the literature into their culture. Soon Bengali was the adopted as the state language. The lack of the skill professional led the Manikya to the encourage the migration of the skilled professional like the teacher, doctor and lawyer from the Bengal. Further expansion of the wet rice, the cultivation also the facilities migrations of the landless cultivations from Bengal. Other than socio-economic factor, the political factor also led a large number of the Bengalis to take the refuge in the state. In 1941 and 1946, many Bengalis fled Bengals to take the refuge in Tripura. Firing communal riot, Bir Bikram Manikya helped the refugee by forming an official relief committee with the support of the royal administration. The state also the witness large-scale migration of the Bengalis from the East Bengal after the partition, proximately of the state of the district of Chittagong. Noakhali and the Sylhet in the East Pakistan led to waves of the migration after the partition and after 1971, the liberation of the East Pakistan and the formation of Bangladesh. Presently, they are the largest ethnic groups in the state, the constituting over the 60% of the population. The traditional Tripura context is known as the Muibu Burma. Muibu Burma is the dried and the permanent fish is the ingredient, the bankai rice, bamboo shoot, fermented fish, local herb, etc. are the important element of the cuisine. Some of the typically food items are the chauk, rice beer, apong, local drink, mua, evandro, bamboo shoot, rice flour, and the Burma gudok, prepared by bamboo pipes, mosdang, sema, sutni, and extra. The popular fish is the hilsa, made with the mustard paste and the green chilies. Agriculture constitutes the primary sector of the economy. More than half of the population is the dependent on agriculture and the allied activities for such. Rice is the major crops of the account For more than 90% of the land under the cultivation, potato, sugarcane, pulse, and jute are other the major crops that are the cultivated here. Jackfruit and the pineapple are the important horticultural crops apart from the orange, banana, lychee, etc. The state has a number of the food processing centers that produce many food products. Pisciculture was also show some the progresses the state the produce the surplus of the 104.3 million fish eat. Rubber and the tea are the important cash crop. The state is the known for it is the handicraft, hand woven fabric, wood carvings, bamboo items, etc. Sal, garzan, teak, and the gamari are the varieties of the wood that are the found in the forest. The location lack of the efficient transportations and the communication network as well as the lack of the power supply was the industrial sector under development. Sericulture used to be another core sector, but there has been the decline in the and it is growth. Rhubarb plantations in Tripura. The government of Tripura has the state as a rubber timber processing unit in Agartala. Tripura ranks the second in India in the rubber plantation. Next only to Kerala, the plantations were the state to the utilize the degraded land of Tripura for the conservation of soil. Low elevations regions and the tropical climate have the half Tripura emerges as well as the major rubber the growing the zone in the country. Festival and dance. Different tribal groups follow their own the festival rituals and the tradition. Inhabiting different parts of the hilly region, they contribute significantly toward the culture and the economical vibrancy of the state. Religious diversity is reflected in the existence of the different religious faith. Hinduism is the major religions in the state. Some of the other religions that are the uh, practices here are the Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. Most of the tribes are the follower of Hinduism and worships their own the tribal deities. Some of the significant deities the worshippers were here are the Braha, Bonirao, Uma, Goria, Jampriya, and the Mangsiri, Lampra, Kulma, etc. Tripura Sundari is one of the most popular deities who is the revered by many and is the popularly known as the Saraushi or Rajeshwari. The Sakmas, Usai, and monks are the follower of the Buddhism. The Tripura Sundari temple, which is located in the Matabari in the South Tripura district, is regarded as one of the holistic Shakti pits among Hindus. Built by the king Dhanya Manikya, the temple contained an idols of the Kali in her the incarnations as a Soroshi, 16-year-old girl. The celebrations of a variety of the fairs and festival accompanied by the traditional dance is the reflections of the rich and diverse cultural heritage of the peoples. Throughout the year, a number of the festivals are celebrated with the pomp and show. commemorating the important events that are related to their religious beliefs as well as to the traditional economic activities. Some of the popular festivals that are celebrated are the Karasi, Unakote Mela, and the Ban Bihar Mela, Makar Sankirti, Durga Puja, Diwali, Khumpui, Garai, Hangrai, Thamail, Biju, Hosagiri, etc. Another interesting festival is Takuramura or the Pir Dargah Mela, observed in the memory of the Muslim Pir in the village Thakurmura Sonamura subdivision. People across People across the religions, the boundaries attend the Mela fair with the great farewell. The peoples also celebrate festival associated with their economical pursuit. Harvest festival are the particularly popular among the Tiripuri, Riang and the Zamantia. The Tiripuri celebrate the Bhangni Mutarenial in the Pashua January, February. The Riang celebrate the Bisukani in the Sitria, April. The Jamantia and the Notia celebrate Mamantia during Ashwina Kartika, October, November. The first Ghent are the worshipped and the Maisoi Bakir is offered. The music and the dance form and the ins- inseparable component of the fairs and festivals of Tripura. Most of the tribal communities have their own distinct dance form, which are performed by both men and the women and accompanied by musical instruments like the bamboo, cymbal, ukraf, kham, Song Frank, Suimui, Dukuk, Kam, etc. Some of the vibrant folk dance that are the part of the Swiss tribal culture are the Hosagiri, Wangala, Biju, Lebang Bomani, Chum, Sangrai, Mok, Haikak, etc. Language and literature. The major language spoken by the peoples of the Tripura are the Bengali, Kokborok, and it is the variant, and the Manipuri. The origin of the Kokborok is said to be the form of the Tripura Burmese family and is the written using the Bengali script. The Bengali literature received and imitates owing to the patronage of the Manichaeans, which was the feathers the inheritance by of the influence of the Rabindranath Tagore. Bengali writer wrote on the themes related to the Bengals as well as their experiences of the life in Tripura. Development of the originate writings in the Kokborok is the comparatively new. The lack of the written the letters was the amply compensated in this the oral tradition. In the recent times, the volumes and the quality of the cookbook writers have received the attention some of the prominent literacy the figures who have made the mark in the development of the Bengalis and the cookbook. Literature and the poetry are the Shankha, Subharad, Debo Burman, Khagesh Dev Burman, Senehamani Roy Chaudhary, Nanda Kumar Deborma, Bodhurai Deborma, Robindra Kishore Deborma, Safai Deborma Extra History. Mass information on the yearly history is not available because of the lack of the evidence, but There are the reference in ancient texts as the Mahabharata and the Purans. It also the find in the mention in the pillar inscriptions of the Emperor Ashoka. The information on the early history is the largely based on the oral traditions contained in the Rasmala, the quote the chronicle belongings to the 15th century. 15th century. Um, and is the earliest documentary evidence written in the Bengal during the rule of the Manikya kings. The writings of the Rasmala was uh, commissions by Kings Dharma Manikya to the compose the history of the Manikya ruling family. The Rasmala reveals two distinct periods in the history. First is that of the supposed early kings of the Tripura who ruled the regions as the representatives of the gods, and thus the identify with that the populars the legend and other the folklore scholar. However, the attribute all uh, pre-15th century kings to the realm of the mythology. In the 17th century, the kings adopt the titles of the Fa or Fa, meanings father or rule of the Kokborok, the local language, and the rule at the regions the form than the capital city of the Kalishahara in the North Tripura. The rule of the Manikyas. The second period marks and the important phase in the history when it the come to the rule by the Manikyas in the 14th century. The Tripuri kings who were of the Indo-Mongolian origin adopted the titles of the Manikya and the ruled Tripura for and the Union trumpeted period of 350 years. Udaipur in the south Tripura district was the earliest capital of the Manikyas and founded by the Udiya Manikya 1585 to 96 on the site of the old capital of the Rangamati on the banks of the river Gomati in 1700. It was the shifted by the Krishna Chandra Manika to old the Agartala in 1849 due to the frequent inventions of the cookies. He shifted the capitals to the new Agartala and adorned it with the beautiful tanks, the buildings, and the temples. It was under the rules of the Manikya dynasty that the kingdoms of the Tripura rested by the zenith of its power and the most glorious periods in this. It is the evolutions during the 16th century. The Manikya rules the achieved a number of the militaries victories, including suzerainty over the Burma, Myanmar, the Bengals, and Assam. The Manikas came in the conflict with the Mughals in the 17th century when the latter the extent their suzerainty over their origin, including much of the Tripura. The Nawab of Bengal granted the Zamindari right to the Sakla, Roshanabad, presently in the Komilla district of Bangladesh, to the Tripura during the region of the Drama Manikya 1714 to 29. Tripura merger with Tripura's merger with Union of India. The creation of the East Pakistan after the partition cut off the north, south, and the western borders of the Tripura from the rest of the India. Moreover, the extent of the hills and the hillocks Also, the abstract road links with Assam, merger with Margar Margar with the Indian Union that seemed to be the only way out to continue. It is the link with India, thus marking and the int and the prienly rule in Tripura following the death of the last ruling king Bir Bikram Kishore Manikya. Tripura ascended to the Indian Union in 1949 through the merger agreement signed by the Queen Kansan Prabha Devi. B. Chandra Manikya 1862 to 96 contributed greatly toward the culture and the spiritual development of Tripura. He is regarded as the architecture of the modern Agartala city and also modeled his the administration on the pattern of British India. He enacted various reforms, including the foundations of the Agartala Municipal Corporation. He also established the Umakanto Academy, the first Western school in Tripura. He was the first king of the organization and the annual photography exhibitions in these places. His close the friendships with the Rabindranath Tagore helped establish the Bengalis as the language of the court. Initially, the administrator as the Union territories, Tripura granted full the statehood on the 21 on the 21 January 1972 as per the Northeast Reorganization Act 1971 for the socio-economic development, preservations of the language and the culture of the Tripura tribal areas and Autonomous District Council ADC was constituted in 1982 and later in 1985 it was brought under the six schedules that Tripura had for the district before the 2012, namely the Tholai, North Tripura, South Tripura and the West Tripura. In 2012, four new districts were carved out of the existing four: Khawai, Unakote, Sipazila and the Gomate. Rabindranath Tagore relation with the king Bir Chandra Manikya 1862 to 96 followed a long association between the Tagore family and the Manikya since the times of the Dwarka Nath Tagore, grandfather of the Rabindranath Tagore. The poet Bas is the celebrated novel Rajarshi and the drama Bizarjan and the Mukut on Tripura history. It is the belief that King Bir Chandra found the solace in the Rabindranath celebrated love poem Bagna Hriday when his the queen the Bhanumati Devi died in 1881. His son and the successor Radha Krishna Manikya 1897 to 1909 also maintained the closest relations with Rabindranath, and it was during this region that the poet visited the Tripura for the first time in the year 1900. Bir Bikram Kishore Manikya 1923 to 47 was an ardent fan of the poet and his work. At his behest, the day's official mourning was observed in the Tripura, and the death of the Rabindranath Tagore, the poet, had penned some of the famous songs during his visit to Tripura. The Manikya ruler from the Bir Chandra to the Bir Bikram Kishore Manikya extend the generous the financial existence to the Rabindranath and his dream, the project Vishwa Bharati at the Bholpur in the West Bengal renewed the artists Dhirendranath Kishore Devarma and the Manipuri dance expert the Buddhimarta Singhs were the deputed to the Vishwa Bharati, and it was the Tripura contributions and enabled the Vishwa Bharati to introduce the Manipuri dance form in it is the curriculum. Natural vegetation and biodiversity. Tripura, predominantly a the hilly region, is surrounded on all the sides by the deltaic basins of Bangladesh, except for a small part in the northeast, which they adjoin the Kasar district of Assam and Mizoram. The state display three distinct physiographic region: hill ranges, the undulating plateau land, and the low-lying alluvial land. There are the five major hills ranges: the Jampui, Unakoti, Sakanlang, and the Longthorai, Atharumara, and the Kalajahari, and Baramura, Deutomura, and the highest peak lies and the Bethlehem Ship, Taidwar, Ship Rangkurung, 1975.36 meters above the sea level. Tropically, the state is the characterized by the hill slope, tillas, hillocks, lungas, land areas between the tillas, flatlands, river, and the lakes. The climate is the warm and the humid. The temperature variety between the 10 degrees Celsius in the winter to the maximum average of the 35 degrees Celsius in the summer. Humidity is the generally high throughout the year. Monsoon usually arrives in the latter part of the May or the first week of the June, and the last till the September. The north eastern part of the state around the Dharmanagar gets the maximum rain. The state has the 10 major rivers: the Burima, Gomati, Khwai, Haura, Longai, Thalai, and the Muhuri, Feni, Juri, and the Munu. The Gomati is the largest river, and like the Ganga, it is the considered as the most sacred of all the rivers. The Tripura has a diverse ecosystem ranging from the forest and grassland to the freshwater with wetland. Orange Festival. In the early 1960s, Jampui witnessed the beginning of orange cultivation, mainly for the self consumption, realizing the uh, potential of the fruit, and is the commercial value. People's the started orange the plantations in the valley. This the chance that the economy and the lifestyle of the peoples of the Jampui Hills. Trees landed with the oranges are tried to the ice during the October to November. The popular Orange Festival is the tourism festival held in the November in Jampui. The soil of the Tripura is the loamy and the sandy, which is the red and the yellow in colors. Last track of the alluvium soil the consisting of the sand, silt and the clay, and also be the found along the riverbed. Over the 90% of the land was the once covered with the dense the forest. Today, about the 53% of the land is the under the actual forest covered the owing to the increasing pressure on land practice of the zoom cultivation under again the fillings of the trees and the forest fiber mass of this the forest cover has been replaced by the crops. The forests are the mainly tropical, evergreen, semi-evergreen, and the moist uh, deciduous. There are the many species of the rare, the endemic, and the indigenous plants and animals found in the region. The state boasts of a large variety of the species of the trees, shrubs, herbs, climbers are the medicinal plants. Many of whose are the restricted to the state and the neighboring state. It the houses the integrant orchid like a rat and the blue vanda and the around 266 species of the medical plant, medicine plant. Some of the trees that are the commonly available in the forest are the uh, Amalki Balda, Silita Samal, the Dengar, Mandats, the Uda bamboo, etc. The bamboo plays and the visual role in the economy as it serves both the uh, artisans and non-artisans user of the estate. 19 species of the bamboo found in the estate include the blackberry, kai, lanthai, banas, tetua, dolo, paura, etc. There are around the 19 mammal species found in the estate. The 7 primate species have been documented in the Tripura, of which the Suro irises and the assembled the maquas have that become rare. The virus, the longer whose has become the integrant in the India is also the found here. Hollow gibbon, the only in the India, the cloud, the leopard, also the found here. As the regarded birds, nearly 340 species have been reported, of which the 58 are the migratory. Some of the importers birds that are the found here are the Dora Dlar, red bulbul, green bulbul, and a minor bulbul, tuntuni, Bhatiang, Pankoring, Doyle, etc. Some eminent personalities. Sosindra Burma, the celebrated the music director, belonged to the royal Manikya family of the Tripura. He was born in the Komilla, Bengal presidency in the present day Bangladesh on 1 October 1906. He was trained in the formal music educational under the various the maestros such as the K.C. Day and the Ustad Alauddin Khan. He started the composing music for Bengal's play like Sati Titta and the Joyania. Eventually, he composed for Bengali films like the Rajgi, Nirbasan, Potishuda, Abhayarbia, and Chandrobashi. He moved to Mumbai in 1946. He composed the music for the large number of Bengalis and the Hindi films. His the original compositions and the lilting melodious led to the success of the many Hindi films such as Piasha 1957, Devdas 1955, Funtos 1956, Sujata 1959, etc. Each of his the composition is the concept the masterpiece to keep the memory of this musical genius the alive the postage stamp on the Sachin the Burma was the releases on 1 October 2007, coinciding with his 101st birthday anniversary. Deepa Karmakar, the Golden Girls of Tripura, who is the first even the accomplished female, the gymnast of the country, represent Indian at the 2016 Summer Olympic, making it to the fourth positions in the women's velvet velvet gymnastics with an overall score of the 15.006. Her first remarkable victory was at the 2014 Commonwealth Games where she won at the bronze, becoming the first Indian woman the gymnast to the achieve the feat. She is also one of the only five women who has the successfully performed at the Pordonova, the most difficult the performed in women gymnastics. Saurabi Devavarma became the first woman to win the Indian Idol trophy in 2009. She was born in 1985 to the friends who died not the belong to the field of music, despite not the having the background in music. She did not stop the pursuing her dreams. Subarbi is a singer and a performer who loves to perform in a live concert. She has to her the credit as the number of the live concert in India as well as the awards such as the Hong Kong, London, Nigeria, New York, and the Durban. She is also the record the holder of Guinness World Record for the racing non-stop suspended upside downs for the 4 4 minute 30 seconds. She has also worked with the Santanu Moitra for the music videos on Northeast our state places and interests. Tripura is in the activities destinations for tourists. It has the magnificent places, rock art, the carvings, and the strong image, the temples and monastery lakes, wildlife sanctuaries, and the eco park. Some of the prominent places of the interest and Ujjayanta Palace and Kunjaban Palace, rock cut carvings and stone the image and the Unaikoti, Devtamura and the Pilak, Tripura, the Sundari and Kam, Kamlesagar Temple, Kamlesagar Temple, Mahamuni Pagoda and the Getumia Mosque, Dumbar, Rudrasagar and the Kaliwan Sagar Lakes, Jumpai Hills Wildlife Sanctuaries and the Wildlife Sanctuary at Sipahizala, Gumti, Rawa and the Tisna. Tripura is a small state distinguished by it is the cultural similarity with the neighboring Bengal trade route with Bangladesh across the border and the large potential of agriculture and the industrial development. It is the home to the several tribal and the migrant communities, and it is the regarded as the model for the balanced social and the economical development. थैंक यू सो मच इस वीडियो देखने के लिए। Thank you.